Hi, before we get into the main part of this video, I just wanted to mention that most of these videos that I made for statistics, I recorded back in 2020. So once in a while, if I mention something about what's going on in the world, what's the latest with the coronavirus pandemic or something like that, it's from whenever I recorded the video, which might be last year sometime or whenever. So once in a while, I may come in and update some things, but most of what I'm talking about isn't really time dependent, so you'll be seeing videos from whenever I recorded them. And here we go with Chapter 1, The Nature of Probability and Statistics. This first chapter is sort of the background to all the rest. In Chapter 1, we'll be learning some of the terminology, some of the vocabulary, and the basic concepts behind what we'll be doing in the rest of the course. And let's start by talking about what statistics actually is. This is a statistics class. What does that mean? What is it that we're going to be studying in this class? I usually start out by asking students, what do you think of when you think of statistics? That was one of the questions on the introductory survey that I had you answer. And here are some of the answers that I've gotten over the years. Charts and graphs, studies, surveys, numbers, averages, calculations, collecting data. How many people do a certain thing? Sports statistics. Let me know something about our changing society. And then some people have given me answers like the economy. And then some people have given me answers like hard math, confusing, scary, stressful, difficult, I don't like it. Now, if that's the attitude that you have towards statistics, even a little bit, let me say a few things. First, I have had students who started out with an attitude like that, dreading the class and thinking they weren't going to like it, but who ended up doing really well and liking it a lot more than they thought they would. I can't promise that that's going to be true for you, but it might. So at least keep an open mind about the class and about the subject. Second, whether or not you find it difficult, it is worth learning. If it's hard, it's worth it. And you'll learn a lot that is really worth learning. Of all the math courses that I teach, statistics is the one that has the most direct and immediate relevance to the real world. The one where you can see right away where people would use this. Your career might involve statistics. You might have to do some statistical research yourself, or you might just have to understand the results of what someone else did. And even if it's not part of your job, it's relevant to your daily life. You need to know something about statistics to really understand what's going on in the world, from politics to sports to making decisions about your health and being an informed consumer. If you're still not convinced, I've posted links to a couple articles and videos about why you should study statistics that you can look at if you want to see the case for it. You can see those on Canvas under supplemental links for Chapter 1. Third thing, if you do have difficulty, help is available. I won't ask you to do anything without trying my best to explain it first. And if you don't understand my explanations, you can always send me your questions. We do have a tutor available for this course through the Academic Success Center. And if you're the kind of person who learns best by reading, you should be reading each section in the textbook as we go along. If you're not the kind of person who learns best by reading, or at least that's not a good way for you to learn math, at least keep in mind that your book is one place you can look if you want to see some additional examples or you want to see how someone else besides me explains things, you can refer to that, use it for reference. And there are other resources available if you want them. For example, there are several good video series on YouTube about statistics. I definitely don't expect you to spend a lot of extra time watching extra videos, but they are out there in case you think they might help you and you want to try looking around and find some you like. And I did put links to some of those here on that same page of supplemental links that I posted on Canvas. You can completely ignore them if you don't need them. Don't have to do anything with them, but they are there in case you want to look at them or in case you find them helpful. So what is statistics anyway? Well, here are a couple of definitions that I've found. What our book says is that statistics is the science of conducting studies to collect, organize, summarize, and draw conclusions from data. And then here's one I found on the website of the American Statistical Association. They say that statistics is the science of learning from data and of measuring, controlling, and communicating uncertainty. And you might not have thought of statistics as being about uncertainty, but that really is a big part of it. And I'll say more about how statistics involves dealing with uncertainty when we talk about what inferential statistics is, coming up in probably the next video. But right now, the world is involved in this coronavirus epidemic or pandemic, and there's a heck of a lot of uncertainty involved in that. So we don't know exactly how many people are infected or exactly how the infection spreads, what's the most likely way of catching it, what are the chances of getting infected in various different ways from this or that, what can you do to reduce your chance of getting infected? If we develop a vaccine or a treatment, how can we tell if it actually works? So statistics can help us with all of those kinds of things, getting a handle on the uncertainty involved in things like that. Now, as we prepare to start into this first section, let me point out some things. If we were meeting in the classroom in the traditional format for a not online class, I would be giving you handouts pretty much every day with notes and examples to help you follow along and take notes during class. For our online format, I'll be posting these notes on Canvas when I post the video lectures. For example, right here you can see where it says Math 110 Chapter 1 Notes. So that's where I've posted the notes for Chapter 1. If you have a printer, you might want to download these and print them out to refer to while you watch the videos. Or you can just look at them online before or afterward and then refer to them while you're trying to do the homework or review for tests. Normally there will be one homework assignment per section, but for this first chapter, there's just one homework quiz for the whole chapter. So I'm not going to expect you to do that until we finish talking about everything in Chapter 1. But when we have finished talking about Chapter 1, then you'll be going and doing this Chapter 1 homework. Usually on these homework quizzes, there's no time limit. So once you've started, you don't have any specific urgency about getting through it in any particular amount of time. And usually you're allowed 2 attempts. So if you try the homework, you submit it, you don't like your score, you got too many things wrong, you want to try again, you can do that. And you get the highest of the 2 scores. These things won't be true of tests, but they will be true of homework. And on most of the problems on the homework, Canvas will tell you as soon as you submit your work whether you got it right or wrong. But sometimes there will be problems that I will have to grade manually. I'll have to go in and look at what you wrote or what you submitted. And in that case, you won't get a score for those problems until I get a chance to look at what you put in. If Canvas marks something wrong that you think should have been right, like maybe you spelled it wrong or you formatted it wrong and so the Canvas didn't give you credit for it, let me know and I can go in and give you credit if you really deserve it. Sometimes there will be problems where you have to work something on paper and then, or put something into your calculator or something like that, and then enter the final result, the number you get as a final result into Canvas. And if the answer you put in is wrong, Canvas can't tell you why it's wrong or give you partial credit, but I can if you send me a scan or a picture of your work. So sometimes you might want to work out the problem on paper and take a picture of that with your phone, and at least if Canvas says you didn't get the right answer, you can send me a picture of your work. I can look at what you did, see where you went wrong, or if you even did go wrong, and give you some feedback and maybe give you some partial credit if you deserve it. There aren't any problems like that in Chapter 1, but there will be later on in the other chapters that we're going to get to. So those are some things to keep in mind as we start working through the material in what we're going to get into. So I'm going to keep each individual video that I make short. That means there may be more than one video per day. So this first video was an introduction to Chapter 1 and to the way we're going to be doing things. And I'm going to end this video here and come back in the next video and talk about Section 1.1. See you then.